What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's having a good Friday so far. In this video, we're going to update the map algorithm to accommodate these top to bottom rooms that we've been making. So in the last couple videos, we set up this room, which is just like a spike room that has a top and a bottom door. And the only time that this room should actually appear is if we walk into a room in our game that only has a top and a bottom door, because in that room, there's no doors on the left or right. So if it's a regular room like this, we have to account for this door being here on the left. So we only want this to appear in a case like, oh, of course it's not going to happen. But anyway, if there was another room down here below this, we could have this room be one of these special rooms. So that's what we're going to set up today. If you guys are enjoying the series, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't been following the series, you can download the entire project up to this point for free from the description of the video. And yeah, all right. So if you guys remember, we have a class called room that holds all the data for each of our rooms in our level inside of this. Like, this is the information that comes attached to each one of these tiles. So we have a static class called level, which manages our entire level. In our level, we have a list of rooms, and each room has this data, right? So the room number, the location, the picture, and that kind of stuff. So at the very bottom of this, we're going to add another variable, and it's going to be called room type. And the room type is going to default to rooms, which is like the default. So this name needs to exactly match the transform name that you have in your scene. So right now I have rooms, and I made another transform called top bottom rooms that's going to have my rooms that have a top and a bottom door only. So when we random a room that is a top and bottom room, we're going to change this so that when we update the change room script, it will accommodate that, and it'll be able to tell that it's a top to bottom room or whatever, right? So inside of the change room script, we can set that up right here. So here, this is finding the new room. So it's going rooms.find and then the room number. But instead of doing that, it should find which transform it's going to find this game object in. So if we type in transform T is the r.room type, sorry, game object dot find r.room type to string and dot transform. Then instead of randoming or finding this inside of rooms, we can find this inside of T. So that will make it load from here. So then we have another problem, which is we haven't set this variable on any of the rooms, and we have to random between the number of rooms inside of this folder. So the original random script randoms between the 6 and the number of rooms in the rooms folder, but we only have a 0 and a 1 in this folder. So that's not going to apply for this. So in our generate level script, let's update the debug thing first. Okay. So at the bottom here, there's an update. If we press P, it gives us information about the rooms, so that if we have any problems, we'll be able to know like what rooms got generated and what happened. So we just want to type in room type plus r.room type. So that way we can know what type of room it is right away. And this is going to help us debug this, because this might not work on the first try. Usually when you're adding stuff, like, it just doesn't work on the first try every time. Okay. So this is what's happening in the start method of the generate level, which happens at the start of the game, and it generates all the rooms or whatever. At the very bottom here, it checks that the treasure room and the shop and the secret room got drawn. So if any of these three rooms were not drawn, it tries 15 times to draw them. And then if it doesn't, if these do exist, then it will go ahead and do this else statement. So in this else statement, this means that the entire map is generated. We need to go through all the map tiles and find out which ones could potentially be top to bottom rooms. So we need to make a method for that right here. So public void update rooms. And then you could just put this here, update rooms. So for each room r in level.rooms, we want to go through the list of rooms in the level and find out if there's a room above and below this. Okay, so we're just doing top to bottom right now. So bool top is equal to level.exists, level.rooms.exists Uh, so 0, 1. Okay, so what this is doing is we want to set this as a Boolean because we're not just going to be using this for top to bottom rooms. You could also have left to right rooms. You could also have corner rooms. So like if you're playing, I'm not going to be able to play anymore, but if you're playing, let's say there's a door on the right and a door on the top, you could have objects in the bottom left corner right here, right? So we need to save these as Booleans because we're just going to reuse this method for all of the possible rooms. We're only doing top to bottom today, but in the future, we're definitely going to be doing all the possibilities so that we can have custom rooms based on which direction we go. And also, if you have multiple rooms, like some of the rooms that we made are like 2 in length, we want to be able to update the map based on that as well. We're going to get to that way later. It's way more complicated than this. But so anyway, so let's set top up, and then bottom would be the same thing except for just -1. Okay, so and then we also need to do left and right to see if those exist. So let's add 2 more here. Left, right. So left would be -1 on the x-axis, and right would be +1 on the x-axis. So if top and bottom and not left and not right, so all of these have to be true for this to happen, then we're going to set our .room type to be top bottom rooms. Make sure this exactly matches the spelling in the transform, okay? Because it's going to look in our other code, we look this up. So we're doing GameObject.find with the room type. So if this doesn't exactly match this, you're going to get errors, okay? And then the room number is going to be a random range between 0 and the GameObject.find top bottom rooms dot child dot transform dot child count. So this will random a number between 0 and the number of transforms inside of this transform, which is 2. But the highest number is 2 is exclusive. So the first number is 0 and the second number is 2, but it won't actually use the highest number. It does 1 below it. So this will random between the number of children. I didn't make it, so don't blame me for that. But anyway, that's just the way it is. So this should make it so that if it finds a room that only has a top and a bottom door, it will change the room type to this, and the number will get replaced with a number that is inside of the thing. So this should theoretically work. So let's hit play and see what happens. So before we go walking around, we're just going to press P on our keyboard so we can see the room list. So let's drag this up, and you can see that so these are the rooms that got generated, and the second one is a top bottom rooms, and it's at 0 and -1, so it's to the left. So let's just go down, and oh shit, okay, -1 is the y-axis, yeah. So yes, you can see that now it's generated this top to bottom room, and yeah, we're dead. Cool. Let's just try this again so we can see that we can actually go through the doors on both sides. And the camera speed when you change rooms might need to be a little bit faster. Also, there's an error at the bottom there regarding the spikes. I'm going to have to fix that as well. So then the other thing is, like, if you look at this, this door is not exactly covering like the hole. this should exactly match so that it looks better. And then also we would want to put some type of like black fog. I made another video on how to make the black fog for the door. I'm going to link that at the end of this video. So if you want to go and make black fog that you can put in your door, I'll be doing that for mine, and it will actually cover up the whole problem here, but this should exactly match the hole in the wall. So I'm not going to fix that on video because I don't want my video to be as long as it's been lately. But yeah, I think this is it. So okay, so we have another problem. It doesn't disable when it disables the previous room. It's not working. So let's just go back to change rooms for a second. Okay, so we have another problem here. So you can see that we're using rooms.find here to get the current room and disable it at the beginning before we change rooms. We actually need to do this same thing that we did here above this as well. So it should be the current room type. So player.current room type. And then this should be T instead. So that way we're disabling the room because we just disabled the completely wrong room. So this also can't be T because we use T here. But yeah, let's just rename this to T2. Okay, so let's try it again. I kind of knew that there would be some problems. And then there's errors at the bottom here. Let me just expand on the errors and see what it is complaining about. Oh, they're gone. Okay, never mind. So again, before we even move at all, we just want to make sure that that type of room exists. So, oops. And it doesn't in this case, so we're just going to restart the game. Okay, so here we go. So it's at 1 and -3. So this way. Oh my god. Right, here we are. Okay, so this drew my night room. I don't think I showed this room at all. But yeah, so you can see that this is working. Let me just see if I can go through the door and come back. Hang on. So here we are in the boss room. The door is locked. Let's just disable the boss room for right now. The boss room is still a work in progress, so... Oh, that only has those doors. Crap. I could do that. No, that's the boss room. That's where we were. Let's turn on room 6. Here we go. Nah, it's locked. Okay, let's do another example. The boss room doesn't count. This is it's something that's a work in progress. Okay, and there is one. It's at -3 and 2, so we just have to go -3 and 2. And here we are. Okay, so and then we just want to make sure that we can go through the door and come back. So okay. And yeah, so we're able to go in here, and again, the door looks messed up, but that's something you'll have to fix, and we can go through and go back. And the camera move speed between the rooms probably needs to be updated. Like, it needs to go faster, so it actually, like, realigns with the camera better. But, yeah, so now our map algorithm handles top-to-bottom rooms, and so you could create more top-to-bottom rooms if you want to that actually... Yeah, it makes the game more customizable and a lot more fun when it... yeah, anyway, so that's going to be it for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You can add all of the other rooms the same way. So the same exact method that we just used to get these two things, you could do this to do left to right rooms, top to left rooms, top to right rooms. All of the variations, you're going to have to set all of them up. I am going to set them up in a later video. So if you don't, it's okay. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.